My first, yeah, I'll save them.
Oh, let's see. Looks like Riverside made some updates.
Did they? It was lagging this morning trying to
Right.
join in. I was like, this
We
doesn't
we
normally take
should we
this long.
should ask people, we watched the replay and we noticed some lag. Nobody said anything during the live, like, hey, you guys are lagging. So I'd be curious to hear if anybody noticed last week while we are live that there was a lag.
Yeah, and well, there was a lag, but there was also, uh-oh, holy cow,
What?
that's weird. It looks like my computer's about to restart, but maybe it is not. Sorry, I'm glad that you just are still here. I think my work laptop is restarting and it took over my monitor for a second. Sorry, April Fools, everybody. By the way, happy April Fool's Day. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, my whole computer's restarting mid live show. There was some lag, but the thing that I caught most was the audio pop we got
Yes.
last week. So let us know if that's coming through in the live, because we're only able to rewatch the recorded, like the published version after we've been live. And it did not sound great. And yeah, I mean, so let us know. Although it doesn't look like anybody's here to let
No.
us know yet. Maybe we'll bring it up again once people start joining. But yeah, Riverside doing weird stuff. Um, yeah. What are you getting into over there? Are we
I'm
broadcasting?
retitling.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, how
It's
many
weird
days
that
are?
no one's here though.
Yeah, let's check to
That's
make sure
that's
that we're.
that's fishy.
Let's double check to make sure that we are actually. Yeah, I see us live. Let's see. We are also. Well, this would be like an inconsistent start time for us.
Yes.
Unusual start time. We started a half hour later. Maybe they showed up 30 minutes ago, and then we're gonna really mess with their heads when we jump back. We'll get it sorted. We'll get it sorted. It's mostly me because of work stuff. Um, yeah, but no, we're live. It is going.
Did you see any good April Fool's jokes yet?
Oh, club.
Oh, I didn't see Oak Clubs.
Thanks, Tim, for the confirmation. Yeah, we is that I was trying to show that on the screen. We're a hot mess. Thanks, Tim. Can confirm that he can see us and where everything sounds fine. Yeah, yeah. The audio pop was weird, but no, I have not seen. Well, just the O Club. O Clubs was it came in via email, and they got me. Honestly, they got me right away, and I thought, wow, they're really struggling to find products to sell. They're just coming out with this thing. Yeah, so it's up on the video for those of you who
I
are wondering
haven't
what the
seen
heck we're
it.
talking about. But they did get me. It usually only takes one to remind me that it's uh, April 1st.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. What about you? Did you get
Um,
see any?
Gluck's Gym was pretty good.
His AI generated images.
Yeah, the second slide was good. Um,
Friendly reminder to all of you guys listening. It's April Fool's Day. Gym equipment manufacturers like to mess with our heads
so
today.
I think the second slide is getting underappreciated.
Can you help me appreciate it more? The in collaboration with Rose,
Yes.
that part.
Yes, I think that's the funny part. uh,
This is
I guess
Rose's
you don't think
new
it's as funny as I
new
did.
design language. I mean, I don't know. I think I've just gone numb to these quite obviously AI generated
Oh, I know.
images.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Um, Alico. I thought like, oh, I did also think I did kind of wanted to get your opinion on this one. I had this one set up.
Yeah,
Um,
I saw this one yesterday.
yeah, I thought it'd be a good topic. So Coop basically says that he sees the future being highly just basically he says if I was starting a gym equipment company, I would build for this future with like magnetic resistance as the main thing.
Yeah, technology in the gym, basically.
Technology in general, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, I started going through the comments. It's pretty mixed. And I would say I have no idea either. I don't know if it's the future or not. What do you think?
I think that there's a lot of truth to it. I think, gosh, I didn't spend a ton of time thinking about it. I spent more time wondering why those dumbbells were dangling from some PRX looking straps over his left shoulder, technically, other side. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever done AI images like this? Have you ever
Yeah,
created
well,
them?
a bunch actually.
They're always
For
off
yeah,
weird in weird
for our
ways.
thumbnails, I've tried to have it create home gyms multiple times, and they always have some weird thing like that. That's the obvious tell that it's AI generated. Even the bars were both bent on the rack. Um, but yeah, I think there's a lot to that. I don't know if it's like innovate or die. I think was kind of like the spirit of what Coop was saying there. I think that what I do think is that assuming that we've reached kind of like market capacity, right? Like people who are going to build a home gym have either done it and decided it wasn't for them, or they did it and they've got like they're you and me and the rest of the community. We've got our gym set up. I think that if you there's an opportunity if you want to access those who don't have the gyms, the garage space or a spot in their basement or somewhere that they could build out a home gym, that something like the Voltras and that motorized or magnetic resistance is going to tap into a currently untapped market that don't have the space that we do, and that expands your market opportunity. So I think that there's something to that.
Yeah, so I like that the way you said it. I so space isn't really an issue for me.
Right.
You know, I'd love to have more space, but I have, you know, a full garage dedicated to a gym. I don't ever find myself wanting a Voltra. Like I mean, I also have never used it, but I never
Yeah.
find myself wanting it. I would, so I do work inside the house all day. I think it would be cool to have it like hanging on the wall or something
Yeah.
like that. And I do think about like people in apartments,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know the stats, but I would imagine there's just as many people in apartments in the US as in homes. So I think what you said, the bit like there is potential for it to, you know, expand the market.
Yeah.
I do think price has to come down as well
Significantly.
significantly. And also if you're starting a company around Voltra, like the idea of a Voltra, you have to
Mhm.
like, you know, it's like a software startup almost.
Yeah. Yeah. The barrier to entry is much larger than, like there are a lot of we talked about this before, but there are a lot of companies that just pop up and start doing business because they're able to order out of a catalog from China, right? Like this stuff is already being made. You don't need to know a lot about gym equipment. You can just like start bringing over containers and reselling them stateside, and boom, business. If you're trying to bring, at least right now, if you're trying to bring something with technology, you need engineers, you need developers, you need people who can build software. It's much more difficult right now. As I was saying that, I realized oh, we might get to a point where you can order something like this from a
Yeah.
catalog coming out of
Mm-hmm.
China. We're not there
Mm-hmm.
yet, but we'll get there. That's going to be
I'm sure we
interesting.
will. I was thinking the
Voltras
same
from
thing as you were
Alibaba.
talking.
Yeah. um, let's see. What do we got? We got a couple of thoughts. Once Voltra or competitor get the pricing right, I think functional trainers are cooked. $1,000 each, and it would be near impossible to beat. Longevity. I still think you have the longevity play and resale value. I think for me that's a big deal. Um, the idea of spending, let's say hypothetically, I bought two Voltras at $5,000 in 5 years. I'm not going to even be able to make 50% of my investment back. I think with gym equipment, you're almost, if you take good care of your stuff and you buy quality stuff, you can get at least 50% of your investment back in most cases, give or take.
Yeah. Also, I think like Voltras, you still tap a button, right? If you want to like move out. It'd be cool if you could just do voice to weight. That would probably be really handy.
Yeah, you're getting really sophisticated now. It's coming, it'll
I'm sure
eventually
it's
be
coming.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's in. So yeah, to Coop's point, I mean, you even said this on our currently unreleased episode that you recorded with us last week. You're like, I can see the future. I'm always way ahead of everybody else. So Coop's essentially saying the same thing. Um, but I think there's some merit to it. It'll be interesting. We need, not that I'm wishing this on anybody, but we need another 2020 to uncover some things, right? Like hypothetically, if gyms were to be forced to close for any length of time again, it'd be really interesting to see how the needle moves. So I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Anyways, let us know what you guys think. We'd love to, in the replay comments, love to know if you guys think it's the future.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got the document up to that we'll go over. So things on the list today, we have the Titan released their new cable tower. They actually, so I asked if they wanted to come on live and
Mm-hmm.
discuss it. They said they can't, but they sent us a video. So we have a nice little video from Titan that they put specifically for Knurled News, which is cool. We've got some new things from Porter Physed. I wanted to touch on the Quantum Free Trainer, which has been upgraded and is available for pre-order. Reps teasing a new bench, and I didn't update the days away, but we're like 87 days away from Home Gym Con, and you can use code LIVE to save on those tickets. Code LIVE's actually, since we started this, I think the most popular code used.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Well,
I
thank
think so.
you. Thank
I think
you,
so.
friends. Love to
Yes.
hear that. That's awesome.
All right, let's move on. So we're gonna go straight to a video.
Hey guys, it's Maggie with Titan Fitness, and let's talk about our new cable tower. So we'll start off talking about our 3 zones, our lat pull down, single column pulley, and our low row. All of this connects to our 320-pound weight stack and our 5-pound change plate. My favorite thing about the entire machine is this adjustable customized pegboard, so you can rearrange all of your attachments however you want. And the best part about this machine is you get all of these attachments included. So we just launched this product and we've seen a few of your comments, so we're going to answer some of your burning questions. So the biggest question we got asked is why didn't we do 1-inch holes all the way around on the first column? These are 5/8 and these are 1-inch. So we were actually going to do it, but it would have made the trolley heavier and harder for someone like me to be able to lift it up and down. Thus, that's why we have 1-inch holes right here and 5/8 on the side. So you guys were really concerned with the angle of the lat pull down. We compared it to our best-selling lat pull down, and it's virtually the same angle. But I'll do a couple reps to show you. This is completely straight down in one vertical direction. This is a proper lat pull down. Now I'm going to show you on our other 300-pound lat pull down. So we know price is a sensitive topic, but here at Titan, we believe in premium products without the premium price. And we believe we did just that with our cable tower. You get all of the accessories included, adjustable seat, a 320-pound weight stack, which is the heaviest in the industry. All of that included in one price. So shout out to Jake and everybody at Neural News. We're sorry we couldn't be there live. If you have any more pressing questions, send them our way.
Look at that.
All right.
We got an exclusive video. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maggie.
The team at Titan, Maggie. Okay.
That was great. I just think it's hilarious how it's probably funny how they released this product. They're seeing the comments come in and they're like, this is the same as our other one that no one complains about.
Well, but it's not. Like, I will. So, okay. I'm not going to take. So when this was teased yesterday, I didn't spend a ton of time looking at it. I immediately thought, okay, this is what I thought it was going to be when they originally, like a couple of days ago, showed like a kind of a blurred out picture of what was coming. I thought, okay, this is their variation on the Repidonis. And then when it came out yesterday, I thought, okay, confirmed, moving on. But then somebody posted it in the Home Gym Facebook group, and Coach Carp, who's usually here at some point, he called out and I'm wondering if Titan and Maggie saw Coach Carp's comment, those two things, like why not 1-inch holes throughout the upright, and the lat pull down should be extending further out. And while I think if putting 5/8 inch side mounted holes reduce the weight of the trolley, great. That's a plus. I'm curious by how much, because 1-inch holes throughout still would have been nice, but okay, cool. You've addressed that. I'll accept that. I don't think that they quite dismissed the second call out, which was that the lat pull down should be a little bit further out, because ideally you want your body to be centered underneath that top pulley, and everybody's a little bit different too, depending on how long your legs are and your preferences around, do you like those leg rollers to be like just at your knees, or do you like to really get underneath those leg rollers and get them up closer, like mid thigh type of thing? I just think that that would be one place, at least first thoughts, where I think the Adonis wins, is that theirs does extend a little bit further out. I personally like it. Like, I've configured my rack so that my lat pull down when I'm secure is directly overhead. And I like it that way. I don't want to be coming down at an angle like Maggie called out there. But I guess that's just personal preference. I'm sure it saved them some coin too, to not have to do that. But those are my thoughts. But I think it looks cool. I really like the side wing, the single bat wing that they've got going on there.
Yeah, I think this is a cool option, and I think it's the same price as the Adonis, right?
No, I think the Adonis is a lot more.
Oh,
because the Adonis, you have to buy.
That's what I mean. That's kind of where I was getting at. I think it's about the same price as the Adonis without anything extra.
Well, and you're also getting a much larger stack.
Yes, you are getting a larger stack. I have this ATX tower and
the Trinity Tower
here, and I think it goes to 289 with a 1-to-1. And man, I'm not even close.
Sure.
It's mostly like less than halfway up, or it's right around that halfway point. So, I mean, I think 320 is great, but I just think it's an insane amount of weight. But I would agree with you, like a little more extension for the lat pull down seems like it would be great. It's hard to truly say without trying. I'm sure it still feels really good. I'm sure it still is very good. Most people would not notice unless, they have a specific preference, kind of like you're saying. I think 31 height positions is good. I think the post off to the side is good. Is that 3x3 with 1-inch holes, or is that? I didn't look at that.
I'm assuming at first glance it looks like it's 3x3 with 1-inch holes for
Right.
sure.
Okay.
Um,
And do you know, I didn't look. Do you know if they've created specific attachments like other than like that seat for that front post? Like, um like an infinity arm type thing. Like that would be probably pretty cool
I don't think.
to work
Well,
off of.
so the seat does pivot similar to how an infinity arm
Oh,
would.
got it. Got
So
it. That's what
you,
so I did see a picture of that. That's what that is then.
yeah, so you
Okay.
can use that, and I'm assuming the leg rollers come out too, just like the Pegasus seat from Rep. Um, I will call out that it does look like they went like it. I'm assuming because somebody called it out. Let's see. Come on, show on stream. This is a problem again. So one of the comments, the most recent comment, would it be cheaper to buy if you didn't want all the attachments? I like this question, but it does look like they went with like very budget attachments. For the one thing I'm calling out, obviously the handles, those are just basic budget handles, like um, hollow knurled grip over nylon, but the lap pull down bar looks like it's a downgrade on. They have a stainless steel option from Titan Fitness that is comparable to the Rogue Fitness stainless
Yep.
steel, where it's fully knurled even on the bends, and this looks like it's not that. So these are kind of some more budget attachments, probably just to fit it all into the price point that they were going for. Um, I like this a lot. I think that this is going to do very, very well. One thing, so you were saying, and I agree with you to some degree, like who needs 320 pounds? I don't. For lat pull downs and rows on, when if I train those extensively, I might be cresting over 200, 240, 250, like for a couple of reps or something.
Yeah.
However, I will say that I like it for the trolley. So if you're at 2-to-1 on the trolley, I do like that you now have 160 pounds of working weight on the trolley, because if I had one of these, we've talked about this, I don't like rowing off the ground. I would be, rolling a bench up to it, and I'd be doing my
Mm,
seated rows off the trolley. And at 160 pounds on that, that would be nice, because that's about, that's a pretty decent working weight. So I
yeah.
like it for that reason. Um, yeah. So, but it obviously adds to the cost too.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think like you said, I think it's going to do well. The overall value is pretty high.
Yeah.
Um and where I was getting at is I wonder if it's one of those things where they start with this price and then in a month it's like $300 or $400 more.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah.
Yeah, because we've seen companies put their hot new products out. I think they sell really well. So
Hmm.
they're like, oh, we'll just raise a few hundred more bucks. And I think this is probably going to be one of those products.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think if this interests you and you know for sure that you've been waiting on something like this, you should probably pull the trigger. Although that also goes against like the common don't buy V1 Titan.
Yeah. I mean, there's only a few things that I can really think of off the top of my head that I'd love in a perfect world. But again,
Yeah.
those probably add costs. So,
Yeah. I
and,
mean,
and
if
it's what they called out. Like, we'd like 3x3 uprights at the front and a taller base for the lat pull down.
yeah,
I mean,
the dual pegboard is really nice. Hopefully people can put that to use. I mean, you can get a lot of attachments on there. So that has a lot of potential. And then the single bat wing off the side, you can use that for a lot of things too. That could become a dip station. That could be somewhere. I mean, maybe you could set up something like an isolator over there. Like that gives you a lot of options
so you know
over
what?
there.
What I think would actually be pretty cool is if they did like a full bat wing, like dual, like
Yeah,
one on each side.
I agree.
Um, And then you could set up like an isolator on one side and like the infinity arm on a second, or whatever, dip station. So
Yeah.
that would be pretty cool, a pretty cool add-on, I think. I mean, based off of this picture, it looks like you could just bolt it to the other side.
I think you could. So when this first dropped, I was quickly like scrolling through the photos because originally you were only seeing it from this left side angle, and I finally found one where you were seeing it from the other side, and I can't remember which one it was, but for their product photos, they had it set up one particular way, and I was curious. Oh, did they make it so that there's bat wings on both sides? And they didn't. However, if you're listening, Titan, make it easy to just buy a second bat wing for those people who just want to put two. That
Totally.
would be cool. Make it easy for people to do that because I could definitely see people leveraging that. Another thing, and they haven't really talked about this, but when Rep dropped the Adonis, they were showing like how you could build this out or how it can kind of build into their rack ecosystem. So I'd be curious if you could, attach this to your rack. I'm assuming you can if those are 1-inch holes all the way through. Yeah.
Oh man, we always see comment. I've been doing this for 8 years. We see comments like this all the time. Like,
Oh, my wife sends me this stuff all the time too. She's like, this guy owns 2 kettlebells and he's way more jacked than you.
Sorry.
Like genetics, okay? Genetics. Stop bringing cookies in the house, all right? And we'll be good.
All right. I think that's enough for the Titan. I think overall, good job. Good
Yeah,
job, Titan.
yeah.
Thanks for sending that video. That was pretty cool, actually.
That was cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. We got our own personalized video
Yeah.
from Maggie the
Appreciate that.
Titan.
All right. Porter Physed, our buddy, came out with a
Mhm.
couple of new products. One is the more simplified TNT belt squat handle. So you can add this onto something like the Mammoth belt squat or any lever arm or other belt squat type that has vertical mounting hills, so that you have something that you can hold on to while doing belt squats. I do think this makes a good difference. Whenever I use my belt squat, I always hold the handles.
Yep.
So
Yep.
nice little add-on from there. And then also the TNT Hell Box belt squat. So this one, it takes it to another level. It includes 5 height adjustments and 11 angles, so that you can do things like leverage belt squats, leverage sissy squats, deadlifts, Viking press rows, and more. And on the next slide, he actually sent me a video of kind of all of the angles. So
I hoped you had this.
you can use your imagination as to how you can use it. From that position, it's more of just like your standard handle, but then you can do rows and deadlifts way at the bottom. With 11 angles, I imagine it's pretty simple to find the right angle for different things like that. So these are available. They're available on Matthew Porter's website right now. I don't know who I don't know if he's making them or if he's partnering with somebody. I can't remember. He probably told me, but I
He's got to be
forgot.
partnering with somebody because I don't think he can knurl out
Yeah.
of his gym yet,
Yeah.
or
So-
out of his workshop yet.
I think these are probably, if I had to guess, these will get picked up by a larger company.
I hope
think
they
these-
do.
Yeah, I think these are a good idea.
Yeah.
Maybe Fringe to add on to theirs, or maybe a company wants to get in the belt squat game and this is the way they do it. I think this would be a good collab to get things rolling.
I particularly like this one, the Hellbox belt squat attachment.
Me too.
For a couple of reasons. You're getting, so number one, you're getting a lot in this package. You're getting the side mounted weight horns versus the vertical loading weight horn, which is already a win, plus all of the adjustment points for the TNT handle. He's lately been showing this off on a couple of his stories and maybe a reel or two, like how he's using it in his gym. One thing I wanted to call out, And this is kind of a miss by Fringe Sports. So, recently Fringe released these side weight horns for the Mammoth Belt Squat.
Yep.
Okay. And they're sold out. I'm pretty sure they sold out
Yep.
maybe twice. I don't know, once or twice. And Fringe is all about um, being like ecosystem agnostic, right? When they release a product, they are not trying to lock you into their ecosystem. However, I think this was like an exception. Their side mounted weight horns have weird spacing on the bolt holes and only work with the Mammoth. And I've seen a couple of people having bought that thinking it would work with their non-Mammoth belt squat, and the holes don't line up. And Matt Porter designed this intentionally so that it will fit on any of those lever arm belt squats, basically doing like the oval holes so that you can kind of mount at the various mounting hole points. And on the Mammoth belt squat, they're really weird hole spacing. They're not 2 inch, they're like 2 3/4 inches apart from each other. It's really strange hole placement on the Mammoth belt squat. So just calling that out. Good job, Matt Porter. You can go to his website at porterperf.com, I think.
And Eric Eccles did say that he partnered with F&F Steel,
That
like
makes
Kyle
sense.
did. I think I knew that. I just didn't want to misspeak.
Me too.
I know he did that with the Eclipse grips, at least. Wasn't sure about this one. All right, let's see. What do we have next? Okay, new rep bench launching on the 3rd. Based on the comments, it looks like people are saying that it's going to include attachments, but I haven't been able to tell. I think people are just guessing. I can't tell if this is more of just like a new bench that's a little bit cooler than the other ones or what.
It's looking to be an upgrade on their 4100, which is like if you're unfamiliar, the reps benches, there's like tiers. There's like bottom tier, mid tier, top tier. And the bottom tier from a price point perspective, not functionality, would be like their 3100 and their 4100. They're lighter benches, they don't have as many adjustment angles. And they're less expensive. Then you get into their mid tier, which is like their 5200, which is like what I have, and they've got a version 2 of that. And then there's like their top tier, which is like the Blackwing, where you're getting into like $600 for that bench. So this looks to be an improved 4100, more adjustment points. I love that it's the ladder style. I hate pop pin benches, which is why I didn't go with the Blackwing. Knurled handle, new base plate. I think people are wishfully thinking, will this work with attachments? Like, will this have the post on the back pad so that it'll work with things? The first thing that comes to my mind is the new dialed motion piece that they're teasing. I'm not sure if it will. Looking at it, you can't tell for sure.
I couldn't tell either, and I wouldn't imagine they would start with one of their lighter benches. I would think you would start with it'd be more compatible with the heavier benches for leg curl, leg extension. I also wonder, like, I can't remember if I said this on a podcast or in just in real life with somebody. I wonder what the follow-up to dialed motion teasing that is from somebody like Rep, because they've obviously been working on attachments. Like, I think that's been like the rumor for a while. I wonder if they, yeah, so I wonder if they think, they're like, oh, we should launch ours if dialed motion is working on theirs, or like, oh, theirs is way better than ours, or like, I just wonder what's going on in their head with that. It seems like just knowing how many benches there are in the wild of those types seems like an easy collaboration that could probably happen. But who knows? They might have a product that's just as good, or better, or I don't know.
I'm not sure. I'm curious. So I've personally been not like I've been it's definitely been on my mind of swapping out my Gen 1 AB 5200 for something a little lighter. Like it's just a tank. I've got a small space. It's a pain in the butt to move. Uh, for me, with my lower back stuff, if I'm not getting low and using my legs to lift that thing up, I could potentially throw my back out. So I've been wanting to go with something a little bit lighter. And if this is what we're speculating that it'll be, um, then yeah, that is a really cool graphic with the what is that behind it? It's like the
Is it a
stealth
mountain?
bomber type of thing. Um, it's a fighter
Oh
jet
yeah,
of
yeah,
some
it's a fighter
kind.
jet.
Um, and so I've been wanting to get into something lighter. I think Eric Eccles said here he loves his AB 4100, and I've heard really good things about the AB 4100. I don't like the seat pad, and it's looking like they're going to keep that seat pad. It's got this unusual design to the 4100 seat pad. I'm not sure why they do that versus just your traditional, like, what would that be, like four-sided? Whereas this is going to be like an, what is that going to be, like seven-sided?
9? Is it
Yeah,
9?
I don't know how to
No, maybe
describe it.
7. Yeah. Maybe 8.
Um, yeah, I can't do math this early. But yeah, I'm curious. I like that they're teasing new benches. Rep is known for having the best, like the best benches in the business. Um, so let's see. I'm curious to see what they bring to market. I'm glad it doesn't have a pop pin because I don't. I had a zero gap, and I think it's a gimmick. So yeah,
Yeah, I'd go AB 5200 all day over the Blackwing. It's just
same.
way easier to use.
So much easier. Yeah, every time you go to use the pop pin, you're on the wrong side of the bench. You're like, crap, now I got to walk around the other side. And yeah, I don't like it.
Does that What's this question? Oh, it's not. Well, no. Oh, does that bench Iron Master? What does that mean? Oh, I meant does that bench beat Iron Master?
Aesthetically, for
Um,
sure.
so aesthetically, yes. I mean, I feel like I have a good understanding. So the Iron Master bench versus the AB 4100, I think is quite a bit more versatile. You can add attachments. Um, it's easy to move around, just like the AB 4100. The issue, I mean, the difference is, do you want something simple or do you want something that you can add all those attachments? Because those attachments also come with a price. Um, so both great options, probably like the best at the price in their price point. But it just depends, like, what are you going to use it for? Do you want to be able to do sit-ups on it? If so, like the Iron Master will be great. Whereas the AB 4100 is like just a rock solid, easy to move around bench. So I
Yeah,
don't know if it just depends who you are. It doesn't necessarily beat it. I wouldn't say that.
I've never tried the Iron Master bench, but I know that people who have it love it. Um, but I've never personally tried it. I'll have to try and make sure I do that at this year's Home Gym Con.
It's pretty great. It's pretty
Yeah,
great, and I don't think you really realize its benefits until you're like wielding it around in your home gym. And you're like, oh, this is really easy to move around. Compared to like, what did you say you had, the AB 5200?
5200, the Gen
Yeah,
1. Yeah,
Gen 1. Yeah.
it's a
So
tank.
it is a tank. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I think, I love Iron Master. I think mostly because, well, for a couple reasons. When I was up in Seattle still, they were really close by, and the team at Iron Master are some of my favorites that I've had the chance to hang out with at Home Gym Con. I think I've shared this story, but year two, on my way out of Indianapolis, I ran into the Iron Master team. They invited me over to join them for a couple of drinks. The owner, slipping on his name right now, the founder and owner of the CEO of Iron Master, picked up the tab for my drinks. Like, they won me over, and so I love the team. I just I can't get on board with their design language. It's just a little too chromy for me personally. Um, but I love the team, and I think everything that I've only had one of their products, and it was great, and I've heard great things about their bench, and obviously their dumbbells. So yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, I like the Iron Master stuff. I don't mind the chromey look, but I mean, and yes, the Iron Master guys are great. The
Yeah.
team's really nice, a lot of really nice people. I think they're also like they want to keep innovating, so I think they'll be in the space for a while.
Oh yeah, they've already
Definitely.
been here for a
It
while.
it's yes, they've been here for a while, and it seems like their stuff sells so well, and that they're out of stock a lot.
Yeah, well, and they're international, right? Aren't they in Europe
Yeah, I
as
think
well?
so. Yes.
Um, so they do really well. They're a successful business. Um, and yeah, they do run out of stock. I know that, well, at least during, I mean, everybody was out of stock in 2020 and 2021, but had they been in stock, they would have got a lot of my business because I could have just picked it up
Yeah.
locally.
Yeah. But yeah, the bench, you really can't go wrong with that bench. So,
Yeah,
I think
it's all we've got in the deck.
that's all we got in the
Scroll the
deck.
comments real quick. Matt Porter came in right as we were moving on from his slide. Oh, that's the different one. There we go. Matt wanted to make sure that he hasn't advertised it yet, but you can upgrade the TNT into the Hell Box too. So if you bought a TNT handle, you're not out of luck. You can still upgrade it to the Hell Box if you want. See if we miss anything else. There's a lot of great comments. Thanks for chiming in, everybody.
If you're just tuning in, I would suggest going back and listening to the Titans. Titans sent us a video
Yep.
of a quick overview and answering some questions they've seen online of the new cable tower. So that's good. That
Is
was
our
cool.
is our art like I want to check in again too because we only had I think one viewer at the time. But is our audio good? Are we because in the published version of last week's episode, there was a significant amount of audio popping for both Jake and I. So I'm just curious if the live is coming through like that. We'll have to see how the published version this week does. But it's not us. We're pretty sure it's the software.
Also, I'd be just curious to hear anybody who hasn't made a comment in the chat. We can't see who is live, which is probably a good thing for a lot of people. But if you want to say hi, say hi. We'd love to know that you're actually here as well.
Yeah, that would be great. Thanks, Home Gym Physique. Audio is good. Appreciate that. Hopefully it's good on the published version. Bill, thank you so much for confirming. I feel like I think it's going to be I'm going to give one more reminder. Today is April Fool's Day, everybody. Don't be conned by any of the posts that you're going to see today. I'm sure that there's going to be some good ones. There usually are. I got fooled this morning by Oak Club and their mechanics bench thing. But yeah, guard yourselves. What are we looking
Here,
at?
where? Oh no, I think it's Rohrman.
Yeah, you're looking at Rory's personal. This is a good one. So I'm assuming you're going to Rohrman Strength.
I am now. All right, let's see. This one's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so he just published this, like yesterday, I think.
Let's see. What's the audio?
Guard your ears.
No, not bad.
Fuel, give me fire, give me
They're
that which I
coming.
desire.
All right.
Wow. Goodness gracious, Jake.
Sorry.
Ugh.
Did that hurt your ears?
Oh yeah, that was loud.
Oh,
That was
shoot.
loud. Hopefully You guys are good. Built for the event, Jake said. I'm looking at. Oh, yeah. People were asking, when does the room discount expire for home gym
So
time?
the room discount is May 15th, but I doubt it lasts that long. I have a feeling we probably sell out before then.
Are we getting close?
Not sure, but just thinking about how many people have bought tickets, how many vendors we have,
Yeah.
knowing the room block numbers. Yeah, RIP my ears. Sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, so we didn't talk about it, but you're showing the Roman strength. This is like what would we call this? Gosh, in the tech space? So it's like a prototype. Basically, he's not even sure he's going to bring it to market. Uh, hopefully, he lets somebody else weld them if he has somebody if he brings them to market. Uh, but I love the idea. I'm curious though. Like, I don't know about you guys, but just looking at this, like there's no way my shoulders could bear this kind of like just empty. That thing looks like it's so
Looking,
heavy.
you know
And
how
Rory
I
is
was gonna
strong.
say, you know how strong he is, and he only put like 2.5 pounds on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rory is a very strong guy with big old shoulders too. So this looks like it's probably somewhere in the 30, 40 pound range, I'm assuming, because I don't own lever arms, but they are heavy, right? So the arm
This would be
plus his
hard.
attachment, yeah,
This
this
would
is
definitely be
looking
hard.
super heavy.
Uh-huh.
So take that for what it's worth. But cool idea. I thought Man Who Parks in the Gym actually gave some really good feedback. Actually, you can see it right there on how to accommodate lowering the weight of the unit and making it simpler to attach. So, I mean, he even got Coop's attention. He
Yeah.
probably tagged Coop, but yeah, it's a cool
Oh,
idea.
yeah. Real quick too, if you're listening or watching, I'd love to know if you could really quick just tell us if you're on your phone, on your computer at work, if you're watching on the TV, if you're just listening to audio, any insight into how you are listening. I would love to know that. That'd be super helpful for how we put these together as
Does
well.
YouTube not give you live analytics like that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be curious. No, what was I gonna ask you? Oh, I was gonna ask you, are you part of the Bulletproof Fitness Facebook group?
No, should I be?
I would.
I see it
So
recommended all the time.
Larry has not been posting as much on Instagram, but within his Facebook group, which is private, I think there's still a few thousand people in there. He's cool. He's showing some really cool stuff. Also keeping in mind what Flex Marks the Spot said on our recent unreleased podcast about all the patents he has. Like he is showing off some of the coolest stuff I've ever seen in his Facebook group.
Well, I'm pending. Hopefully I just
Oh, okay.
requested to join. Although on my Facebook, you wouldn't know it's me, It's
Oh,
like I don't like, like my Facebook is like all personal stuff type of thing. I don't really comment much as like nice like Mike or anything like that. So we'll see. Hopefully I get accepted. If there's anybody currently listening now or later that's in the Bulletproof Fitness community, let them know.
I'd
Like Mike's trying to get a peek.
love to pull it up and show screenshots, but thinking since it's a private Facebook account, probably not cool.
Yeah,
But
I should go ahead.
some super cool stuff is going on in there, and some of it is not as like. Some of it is very practical as opposed to some of his renderings that he shows. So,
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I've shared this, maybe it was on our episode last week, but he had a Discord. He probably does. He had a Discord community that he set up, and I was invited to. And he would just dump stuff in there, crazy prototypes, mock-ups, pictures and videos from the factory. And I'm pretty sure he was looking for people to be, very interactive, give him feedback, share ideas, thoughts. And I just didn't do that. I've intentionally taken a step back from that type of stuff. It just becomes too distracting for me. So I either was removed because I wasn't participating, or he closed it down and said, "Hey, I'm just going to go with the Facebook group." I'm not sure, but I've seen a lot of the stuff that he has worked on over the last several months before I was removed from the group or the group closed down. And you're right, it's crazy stuff. And he has a lot of thoughts, and he's a passionate owner. So hopefully I get invited or accepted into the Facebook group, because it would be cool. But to your point, I don't think it's meant to be shared. It was like a private little boardroom, he called it. Like, this is
Yeah.
not to be shared
Yeah.
outside
So,
of
I
that.
mean,
Yeah.
sometimes he posts the stuff on Instagram, but yeah, I mean, and I doubt he's like picky about who goes in there, because like I said, there's like a couple thousand people in there, and it's I think it's more for him to just show. It's not necessarily to. I'm sure he's getting some feedback, but I think it's totally cool if you're just there to like witness whatever he's doing.
Gotcha. Well, Andy answered my question that YouTube does not do live analytics yet. So there we go. But you got some answers to your question about how people are
Yeah, yeah.
consuming our media here.
I'm at work, laptop, and unfortunately in the office.
Sorry, Bill.
In plate, usually laptop, but watching on iPad today. I mean, sounds like a little bit of everything. All right, before we close it though, anybody have anything that they want us to discuss? Anything you guys want to say?
Yeah, that's right, Home Gym Physique. I was escorted out of the group, or just kicked out. I'm not sure. I was not a productive community member on that group.
How big was the group?
I don't know. I think
Was it like big enough or small enough to where like it was obvious you weren't participating?
probably. I think it was probably no more than 40, maybe 50. Probably
That's
less
still
though.
pretty large.
Yeah, I mean, but it was something where, like, when people were being added, it was like, "Hey, everybody, this is, Jake, like, kind of thing." And I think so. When somebody reached out to me originally saying, "Hey, would you have any interest in joining this group that Larry's putting together on Discord, this server, for like testing ideas and stuff like that?" My thought was like, "Oh, he wants to send stuff out for us to test in the gym." Like, yeah, sign me up. But that
Yeah.
wasn't what he was doing. He was sharing prototypes and CADs and looking for feedback.
Let's discuss Michael's lighting behind him. Looks cool.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I knew that would get you excited.
I mean, I put a lot of work into making that lighting look cool. That is a 3D printed shelving system that I had to customize so that I could get an LED rope behind it. But I can change the colors and all of the things. The weird thing though is when I change the colors, is it like messes with how I'm looking. But like you can see, I'm playing with the colors a little bit right now. You can do some cool stuff with it. But I appreciate the call out. Have we talked? What is there to talk about with the Maya?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there any new updates?
What is the update?
Andy, let us know. I think both of us are probably under the same boat. It's seems like a cool option, especially at a lower price point. But we got to see.
What is going on? There's been not a lot. There are definitely people who are beginning to suspect that we may never see the Maya go.
Oh,
Just
haven't
because it's
heard
been
that.
pushed back. I've seen people comment on, like, just say that. Like, maybe they're just, throwing shade because that's what people do on the internet. but I haven't followed it closely enough. Have they missed any launch dates, or have they like said when they hoped to bring it, and we're like months past that already?
I have not heard anything.
Okay, maybe Andy knows because he put in his $10 pre-order.
Andy
Oh,
does know.
okay.
I don't know. I don't know anything though. I don't haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything about Home Gym Con. They should be at Home Gym Con as of today, you know.
Armando, thank you very much. He says our audio is solid, appreciates the consistent news, energy, enthusiasm. God bless. Blessings to you too, brother. Yeah, appreciated considering I'm usually only like awake for 45 minutes or so before we start recording. So I'm curious, yeah, if you locked in early bird pricing for $10, it'll be $5.99. That's what Andy's saying on the Mayak Go. Have you, Andy, you locked in early bird pricing. Have you received any updates? Like, is it, oh, April 15th is an early bird drop. Does that mean they're supposed to be shipping on April 15th or just like available for additional pre-orders? So many questions. They never committed to a date. Always kept it vague until yesterday. Okay. Well, that's news to me. I have not followed that product super close.
That's great. I mean, I think it's
Yeah.
probably longer than most people had probably expected, but if there's a specific date, that's awesome.
Cool.
Cool.
Well, I think we can land the plane here.
Yeah, let's land it.
Cool.
If you haven't checked out the Titan video that they sent us, go ahead, check the replay. Any other things you want us to discuss next week, let us know. We're always looking for stuff to discuss. And thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.
Word.